Renee had me cracking up before the call. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unapologetically Badass podcast. I am Renee, and this is Sierra. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. And hey, girls. All you ladies out there, thank you for listening. We're always so honored to have you on here. Today, we're going to talk about mindset. I think this is like near and dear to our hearts. And I think just through life itself, mindset is incredibly important. And so we have a lot of good nuggets to get out there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the key. And the funny thing is before I recognized that, and it wasn't until after 50 did I recognize that. Like I always think, I thought that I had like a pretty good mindset, but whether it's like real life, personal or business, right? In the professional world, everything is mindset.
It is.
Whether like the reactionary, parts of like, how do you handle situations? It's mindset. So we're going to dive in because I know I've learned a ton in this journey and still learning. I mean, I'm
learning right now, Renee. Like I'm going through that it's a growing process. Mindset is a growing process that you can't ever stop, because the seasons is where you have to be able to have a mindset that gets you through that season, right?
Yeah.
Is that how we would describe it for our lives?
Yeah. I mean, yes. So there's different tools and tips and different things that we've learned through the years in our seasoned life. But you even pulled up like the definition of mindset. Like what is that?
You're reading my mind. Why are you reading my mind? Stop it. Oh my gosh. Like, guys, we're vibing on such a good level. It's awesome. And we are so uniquely different, but we need the same thing, but we need it in such a different way. And I'm loving learning this about you, Renee. Like I love it. So mindset, let's just share a little quote here. The driving force in the quest for success and achievement, a mindset that combines, okay, get this, discipline, strength, confidence, and ambition is a powerful mindset. It can achieve anything and it can set its eye on a higher power. Okay, so that's just a little quote, but the actual true definition is establish a set of attitudes. And I love that it says attitudes, quote unquote, right? So in the medieval term, it's the region that you're stuck. So this is really, really cool. It just couldn't be a better timing. And I know that for both of us, we're going through things with our businesses, and it's like the way that the world is right now, the economy and everything, it's like our mindset has got to be so rich and so active because we're business owners, and it's tough right now for business owners out there.
Yeah. And it's tough for our personal. We're going through personal shit too.
Yes.
And so many people are. But that's why I created the Badass Queen brand, because I always felt like I wanted to, and we spoke about this before, but I love saying that I unapologetically inspire moms over 40 to build their $100,000 fucking fund and unleash their inner badass queen. It is all here, right? It is the mindset. Do I always feel like a badass queen? Hell to the no. I mean, today I'm wearing my badass queen sweats because I was like, there are some times where I need a reminder.
Oh, I love that. We do, girl. We do. And like you and I were just talking before the call when we were laughing at each other, but that like, if it wouldn't have been for a call that I had 2 days ago with Renee and another woman that we were interviewing for the show, that was my reminder. It was like a slap in the face, because what I went through that night, I was like, oh yeah, I needed this. Okay, I can do this.
For sure. No, it is attitude. And that's why I like working around with attitude, even though I don't feel it all the time. So, the whole like growth mindset, right? We talk about that, especially in business, right? Where we might be struggling and we might be saying words like, I can't do this. My business isn't doing this. But we can reframe those failures, and I've become really good at, and I coach the millionaire mindset experience that I because I've learned a lot, but
Yeah.
reframing those failures from the I can't to how can I?
Yeah, and I love the power of words when it comes to the
Yeah.
mindset because it could be like, I'm having a bad day. But if you reword it or reframe it, it's, I'm looking forward to my day,
Yep.
right? I'm looking forward to a great day or a better day, or I'm looking for, it's just reframing it so it doesn't sound so negative, so that in your
Yeah.
mind, you're like, it's not a bad day. No day is a bad day. I'm looking forward to what the rest of the day can give me.
Yeah. And when people
Yeah.
say like, "Oh, I have to do this. I have to cook, I have to go food shopping, I have to go clean, I gotta do this," right? That
Yeah.
sounds like there's a lot of heavy in that.
Yeah.
But instead, because that can put you down going, "Shit, I got all these things I gotta freaking do." But when you say, I get to cook dinner for my family. I get
Yes.
to do laundry. I get to be a stay-at-home mom. I get to do like whatever those things is, just changing it, just that little tweak, like was such a game changer for me in being able to
Oh,
come more with that sense of gratitude.
yeah, I
And
love
that's
that.
what mindset, really is. You have to have a foundation of gratitude. So there's
Really, really
even
cool.
um there's something that I do every day that I love sharing because oftentimes whenever I share it, people are like, "Oh my God, what a great idea." Now, I didn't come up with all of these concepts. I've learned them. Thank you for my coaches that, I've
Right.
done all this. But I don't know if you've heard me talk about a miracle morning.
No, I haven't. Maybe I caught it briefly, like, through a live that you've done, but you haven't
Mhm.
really, like, shared in detail, so tell
Yeah.
us. I gotta.
So I do that in my trainings, but the miracle morning, I wake up every day and I have like certain things that I do each and every single morning. So some people
Okay.
create this miracle morning, but like in the afternoon or at night, like whatever it fits as schedule. I work
Yeah.
from home. I'm my own damn boss, and I'm not a morning person. So I can do the miracle morning to myself. A lot of people, might need longer. But it's like a 10-minute. It's not like this takes an hour, okay?
Okay.
People have different types of miracle mornings. But what I do is I have coffee in bed every day, right? For those that
Yeah.
never caught the other videos, yes, my friends, I have a Keurig bedside.
That
Brilliant
is
or
great.
psychotic? Not sure, but I'm going with brilliant. I drink black coffee. So anyway,
I'm going with brilliant too, Renee.
I'll go
Like,
with brilliant, right?
pure.
So
Yes.
in the morning, I'm like this. I'm dead to the world. I am not a morning person, but I have my coffee. As soon as I make my coffee and I have my sips, I then verbalize three things that I'm grateful for. Three things that I'm grateful for that day. And it could be the same thing or it could be something different. It could be people in my life, it could be opportunities, it could be whatever. But I thank, for me, God, for three things, whether you believe in God, Jesus Christ, whoever, or you just want to put it on the universe. Okay.
Mhm.
I first do that. Then what I do is I pray. So I pray for,
Mhm.
people and circumstances. I set my intentions for the day. So
Aw,
I determine a couple of things that I want to accomplish and I ask for help. So whether
mhm.
that's, I want to, like have, communication with 5 new women today. And I ask
Yeah.
to bring 5 new people into my circle or more. I'm always asking or more because I don't want to limit. I want to
No,
create
never.
abundance, right?
And God, yeah, because God will give you abundance, and then
Yeah.
He always loves when we're specific with Him.
So
Yeah.
I get very specific, right? And then what I do is I listen to, I might listen to something that's motivational or I do deep breathing exercises. So when you inhale for 4, hold for 4, out for 8, and I do that a few times and that helps me get grounded and centered
Mhm.
and do that. So and then after I'm doing that, I pull up my phone and I listen to my life script. Now,
Oh, I heard, okay, you talked about this before. Okay,
yeah,
help us to understand
I
this.
am obsessed with it, and everybody that I talk about, like, this totally gets me going. So what I did is, I wrote down everything I want to accomplish, what I want my life to look and feel like next year. And I say everything, how much money I'm making, the lifestyle I'm having, how many times I'm getting together with family, friends, date nights, exercise, pickleball, vacations. Like I was so specific, okay?
I love
Exactly how much
it. Love
money I'm
it.
earning, how much I'm working, everything. I wrote it all down as if I've achieved it.
Yes, you have to speak it as if you have achieved it already. I love
So
it.
this
Can
is
you
what I put.
give us an example, just like one thing from there, and can you say it out loud so everybody can hear? Because I would love to if you'd be vulnerable enough to share.
Yeah, I will. So,
Okay, okay.
and so what I did before I share those specifics, but what I did is I pulled out of my tools, there's a voice memos app that we have in our phone, and
Yeah,
I recorded myself as I have already achieved this.
I love it.
So my life script, and I listen to it every single day. So it
I love
starts
it.
off like, oh my God, I am so excited that I get to work my business in just 4 days a week. I have 20 group coaching clients. I have 10 private coaching clients. Like I am specific, I am building businesses. I am building multiple streams of it. And I'm sharing exactly how much I'm making with each of my multiple streams. I am
Love it.
specific with that. I'm specific with the fact that I get to take my family on an annual vacation. I get to pay for it for everybody. Like, so when I hear this, I have goosebumps. I get out of bed. I'm like, I am a fucking badass. So I'm like, look at me.
Look what I did. Look what I freaking did.
I will tell you, it is the most exciting, motivational part of my day. And that makes me, it rewires my brain when I'm not
Mhm.
feeling it. Because in the mornings, number one, I'm not feeling it. Number two, I could be in my head about circumstances in my life that's not all great, right?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I don't allow myself to go down that path for too long. And when I listen to this, it not only it motivates me, it excites me, and it makes me centered for why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to know, and I'm sure other people are asking. I mean, we love the idea. Everybody's going to be like, "Okay, I'm going to voice memo myself something
Mhm,
that I
mhm.
haven't achieved yet that I want to achieve." But where did this idea come from? I meant like I honestly listening to thousands and thousands of inspirational speakers and podcasters. I've never ever heard anybody encourage. Was it just a bright idea or did you hear it somewhere? Because I've
No,
never heard record yourself.
yeah,
Like that
no.
is so mother freaking powerful, Renee.
Right? And so full disclosure, I did not create this concept. This came from Dr. Kimberly Olson, who I have worked with the Gold Digger Girl. She is
Okay.
so I
Okay.
learned so much. In fact, I'm a certified millionaire mindset coach with her. So
Love
I've
it.
learned so much. And that's why I love sharing, these tidbits. Because what happens is our brain loves our voice, even though we don't. Right? Like most people, we hate our voice. I freaking hate my voice.
Yeah.
So when I hear it, I'm like, ugh, like I want to cringe. But our brain, it
Yeah.
attaches to our voice and it's like, oh, you're saying
Reality. Yes.
they hear whatever that talk, and that's why we talk about with mindset, that self-talk. What we're
Yes.
telling ourselves is what our brain's going to understand. So if we
Yeah.
say, I can't or I suck, then guess what? You can't and you suck.
You
But when you
believe it.
say,
Yep.
I get to, and I'm a fucking badass queen, then your brain goes, yeah, you are, girl. Right. And
So
so
did she share this like in a book or in a pod? Because I've never heard of it. And or was
I
it
did
part
it.
of her coaching
It was
program?
part of her coaching program.
Oh, it's a
Yeah. So
secret. I love it.
so I share it part of my coaching programs and then, with
Absolutely.
hers too, but and my team members and all of that. I love sharing this one tool, this one thing is such a freaking game changer. I've had so many team members, clients like, thank you, even though, I'm like, are you listening to your life script every day? And they're like, oh, I hear my voice. Like we all feel that way. But it is such a game changer. So I hope everyone, takes
Just try
advantage
it.
of that. Just try it.
Just try it. I
Yep.
know that I'm gonna try. I know that I'm gonna try it because, um, as much as I hate my voice as well, but I'm just going to try it because I want to get in like into a habit. So I know it takes 2 months to create a habit. So I just want to commit to like 2 months of doing it and then see how my life changes. And then if I never want to do it again, I never have to do it again. But I feel like this is so powerful because you're speaking into the world of what you want and how you want it to be and what you want it to look like. And it starts to come true. Have you had any truth to any of your life scripts? I have to know.
Yes. And so the cool thing is again, when you're doing this life script, you have to visualize and smell the smells too. Like,
Uh-uh.
if you're looking at like beach, like I love the beach. And to me, like that's vacation times, right? So
Yeah.
I visualize the trips. Has it
Yeah.
happened? Yeah, I'm earning trips. I'm going on trips, which I freaking love to do, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But everything that's happened there is starting to come to fruition. So it's just such a powerful thing because then I can also, during the course of the day, when, we might get into a little spiral, right? Different things will
Yeah.
happen. We're not getting
Yes.
what we wanted from whatever,
Doubt creeps
right?
in, fear
Yeah.
creeps in, all
Yeah.
these horrible, horrible things creep into your
Yeah.
mind.
And then so sometimes it helps, listening to that during the day. It's anything that will get us, excited and with a clear intention,
For sure.
you know.
I love
So
it.
yeah, that's my miracle morning. And then of course I finish it with, having a nice cold glass of ice water. I do stretches when I get out of bed and like so that to me those are like my key tips for miracle morning. But some of the things that people do too is like have a journal. Like some
Yeah,
people that really
that's
helps.
me.
Is that you? I'm not a
Yeah,
journal person.
yeah. I don't know, for some reason my brain works, and that's why I wanna try the voice memo because I hate writing, but it's like my brain understands it when I reread it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then I even look back on things and I'm like, "Wow, did I write that?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay,"
Yeah.
like, "Wow, where was I that day?" Or what was happening that, I put those thoughts down and then ended it with something like, "This will not be my ending," or "This is not how my story goes," I'm like, "Where was I? What was happening at that time?" But yeah, I'm definitely a big journal
Yeah,
person.
a
It
lot of
just
people are, and that really does help. That really does help. I mean, and reading different books and, taking yoga. Some people love that. Exercise, eating
yeah.
well. Of course, that helps with mindset too, because when you're eating like shit, you're gonna feel like shit.
Yeah.
Um,
What
so
you put into every piece of your body is what comes out, right? So what you
yeah,
put into your brain is just as important as what you put into your gut. What you put into your gut is just as important as what you put into your brain. And the mindset like affects everything. The thoughts, the actions of your mind will produce actions. I was the worst at that. And we talked about it, Renee, when I was going through a divorce. My mindset was so bad that like my actions were acting out,
yep,
what I was thinking. And that wasn't a good way it wasn't a good way to handle it. By the way, don't do that.
right,
But the outcome of it was worse when I let my emotions take control of what my mind was thinking that
yeah,
led to actions that you regret. So
yeah.
mindset could be, it's everything.
It's
And then if
every
you and when you take that mindset and put it into a positive aspect, the outcome is so much better,
yeah.
so much better. I mean, it
I have
helps
to
you
pause.
so.
I have to share this because when we said
Yes,
about eating well and
mhm.
feeling good, what we put in our bodies, there was a TikTok that, again, freaking TikTok. There was a
I know.
TikTok that I saw, whether you like Robert Kennedy Jr. or not, RFK. But there's a TikTok where it says, whenever I'm about to open up a bag of chips, I picture RFK Jr. giving me this look, and I put down the bag of chips and get myself a carrot.
Oh, he's like, okay, so the look is like, "What are
The
you
look
doing?
yeah,
Why
the
are
look
you
is
making this face?
disdain.
You're
What
disgusting."
right, exactly. So I saw that. That's what made me I thought of that. I'm like, I had to pull that up, you know?
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's such a good thing. I love the visuals too. So like journaling, the memo, the visuals, having visuals in front of us that reminds us of something if we're like if we are struggling with eating, right? Like overweight,
Yeah,
obesity is such a big thing in our country
yeah,
right now. Like the portions are oversized. The food is processed in really bad ways. And so it's not necessarily all our fault as human beings in the United States. It's just what is being fed to us. But beside that, we can talk about that later. The mindset of, if I eat one more, do I have that visual of Kennedy looking at me? If I choose this over this, how will that make me feel at the end of the day? So it's that self coaching too of like really, really think about what this is going to do to you, Sierra. If you put one more French fry in your mother freaking mouth, right?
right. Right. I mean,
Not that
you nailed it. It's self-coaching. And,
always.
it's creating the schedule, creating the plan for how are you going to self-coach and rewire yourself so that when something happens, because shit will happen all the
Always.
time, what tools do you have? And like, so some people like vision boards, we talk about like clear intentions and stuff, right? Vision boards really help. Tools like
Yeah.
Trello, which I know for you was a love-hate relationship. It was for me too. But I love Trello. And some people use Trello for like, creating kind of like their schedule. Like, here's some tips for mindset. Here's some tips
Yeah.
for, healthy eating. Here are some recipes that I like. And people can just put that in on their Trello board and have access to that at any
Mhm.
given time, right? There might be
Being
YouTube
org
channels or,
being organized with your thoughts
yeah,
is or that routine, and that's what
right.
I'm hearing you say,
Yep.
Renee. It's like people will use an app like that because it's a routine and it's easily accessible for me. So it's a place like of comfort for me. And instead of personalities who's like not like me, like I am not organized. Don't ask me to organize anything, but I do like my thoughts and my mindset to be organized, right?
Yeah.
So routine is important to me. Once I get the hang of it, then it's like, then it becomes a routine, but it's
Yeah.
like and trying something new, right?
Yeah.
So it has a lot to do with mindset. And,
Yeah.
and so whatever that looks like for anybody, it sorry, I went on a rant. That's just because it ties into my life right now. And Renee and I have a love hate relationship with this Trello board, you guys. But we're trying to keep our butts organized in with this because this is so important to us, and we're trying to make sure that everything is streamlined for each other. And it is a good app. It is a really, really good app. Take a
Yeah.
look at it. I do love the ideas of being able to organize your life of like, did you exercise today? Which I know they have those fit exercises. Did you journal? What are some journaling tips and ideas? Here's some links that you can plug
Yeah.
in, some podcasts that you want to save to
Right.
listen to later.
Like the Unapologetically Badass podcast, right? But yes, you
Definitely
can
put that
put
one
links
on
in
your
there,
list.
right? You can put links in there so that you don't have to have, because what I tend to do is then I have 148 pieces open in my phone on Safari. I have 148 fucking website. Like, I don't need that, right?
No,
But
you don't need
having it
that.
all listed on the Trello board, so I'm like, oh, if I want this, I can go here. So,
Yeah.
and that does help with mindset because the confused mind does nothing.
Mhm.
So
And
when you're
that's where I
thinking
am right
about,
now with the Trello, everybody, is I'm in the confused mind
right?
piece, but I will get it together. I promise you.
I know you will. I love it. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. And again, that was something that I had to learn because I was scared of it. The thing is, when something
Mm.
is new,
Yeah.
it can be
Yeah, for sure.
scary. It can be
Yeah.
daunting. And especially as we age with technology, right? A lot of
Yes.
people aren't comfortable with it. But I'm like, okay, here's your comfort zone. And out here is stepping out of your comfort zone. And that's where the fucking magic happens. So,
I had a brilliant speaker one time, and I don't know exactly who said it or where it came from. I wanna say it was Grace or her mother, Nikki Kehoho.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not quite sure. But when they said this, it resonated. I love the idea of stepping outside your comfort zone. But when they said it like this, they said, here is your comfort zone, stretch it. Because when you stretch daily or you exercise that muscle, it becomes stronger. So we're not asking you
Yeah,
to step outside of it just yet if that
that's
is not something that
perfect.
will work for you. But let's take your circle and let's expand it a little and stretch it out. And you can go
Yeah,
back, and you can keep like expanding and go back for, and so you can go back for safety, but let's just continue to keep expanding it. And believe it or not, it's the same thing. Your circle grows. So you did step outside of it and it grows and it stays bigger, but it's like you don't have to go way, way, way far and step like way out. You can just stretch it. And
yeah.
my kids, and it was such a honor, Renee, they actually told me, Mom, you know more about social media than we do. And I was like, I do? Oh my God. Yes, I do. Because I was
It,
like, hey, do one of you guys know how to do this little edit? Because I don't know how to make the edit. And, because I do all of my social media and it is exhausting. I post in all of my groups individually, scheduled some of them that I can, but I do it all. Like, I don't have anybody doing any of it for me. And so, like, one day, and they're like, Mom, I have no idea what you're talking about. You know more than we do. And I was like,
I love that. But you know that there's lots of tools out there so that you can create automation, you can have things
there
scheduled.
are.
I love Go High Level. That use that all the time, and that does all
If
my scheduling.
If
And
they could just schedule TikToks, it would be amazing.
we can, we can.
No, not on
Yes,
TikTok.
yes.
No.
What do you think I
Yeah.
do? Don't tell me no. That's how I freaking do it, huh,
No, 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 no,
girl?
no. No, you're
Yes.
talking about somebody posting it for you, right?
No, I'm talking about scheduling it through Go High Level.
Oh, because see, like 3 years ago, whenever I looked in, there was
I know. There
nothing
was
that
nothing.
would do it.
So,
How did they get into your drafts?
yeah. So I would do a video and then I would say we can go down that rabbit hole, but there's
Okay, yeah,
tools.
we can do
Yeah.
another one on social media, but yeah,
I'm-
so these are like things that I mean are mind blowing. But like I don't want to take my draft and have to put it somewhere and then have it scheduled to post
yeah.
because like that. I just wish TikTok would allow a schedule. But I mean, I do love that you can do that
Yes.
but it's still just as much work if you record it. And for those of you that don't even know about TikTok, you're like, what the hell are they
Yeah,
talking
we're
about?
gonna go
Anyway,
down
back
that
to
rabbit hole.
mindset. I'm like, back to mindset.
Back to
Um,
mindset. It's all about making, like so again, we talk about creating what works for you. So what
yeah,
works for me may not necessarily be what works for you, but there are certain aspects of it as far as rewiring the words that you speak to yourself, the power of consistency. I mean, that's really key as well because the small things that you decide to do to change your mindset
yeah,
and rewire, those small daily habits will lead to big changes over time. So I,
absolutely.
definitely encourage everyone to kind of create their little micro habits, whether it's, spending 5 minutes
Whatever
a
it is.
day planning tomorrow or journaling or writing your life script or listening to inspirational, funny ass podcast every day.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly. Of two ladies who know nothing telling
right.
you, look, keep your mind right, and here is why.
Right? Or following us or watching our TikToks and laughing hysterically, even though I have 5 people
There you
watch my damn TikTok, I laugh. I'm like, I'm my biggest fan. I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking hysterical. No one knows it yet, but I think I am.
You know
So
what? 5 people watching a TikTok is actually a really big deal because think about it. If you were to set up a meeting, do a
yeah,
little bit of advertising, and you had 5 people show up for your very first meeting, Renee, you would be like, oh my gosh, 5. It's
absolutely.
the same thing. It's the same thing.
Absolutely. Yes.
I just keep going back to mindset and like how the outcome determines everything. And Renee, you have been knee deep with me with like my little health journey. And most of you guys know I had a hysterectomy a few weeks ago, a total hysterectomy. I have a cuff, and like I'm not recovering like I thought. So my mindset is really, really crappy. Like, I mean, I never cry, and I have cried more in these last like 2.5 weeks than I ever have. And I have had to do some major, major soul digging.
Yeah.
And it sounds so stupid because I'm like, okay, people have surgery all the time, but I did not realize that this was like a major, major surgery, and that my body was going to do all kinds of weirdness. Like, it just, you have like this expectation of like, oh, that's what women have it. It's fine. And they just like act, from the outside, it seems like everything is so perfect and fine. But man, mindset is, sometimes you have to dig out of a hole. And I
You do.
know that Renee talks about all these things that you do every day, but sometimes like even staying consistent with that consistency, that has been the hardest for me, because I know if I worship, for me, if I worship, if I journal, if I say it out loud, if I do all these things, but when you're in like this black, dark hole,
Yeah.
it is hard to like get your butt to stick to that routine. You're
Yeah.
like, I just can't. I just can't do it today. I just don't want to. And then those words of can't, and then really you just can't. And so I've had to force
You do.
myself, and this is just my black hole, but you could be experiencing a completely different black hole. And if you're,
Yeah.
whatever that hole is for you,
Yeah.
like, girl, it is okay. I know it is lonely in that little hole of yours, but you're
Yeah.
not alone. So do anything you can to get out of that. And it starts with one positive affirmation to yourself. Or instead of saying can't, say, what will I? How
Yeah.
can I? Today is going to be this. I don't know. What are some other words? Just
Well,
all these things that have come to mind the last
and the
3
other
weeks.
things, right, but other things that we do is celebrating small wins,
I haven't done that, Renee. See, that's a reminder. I have not celebrated
right?
my small wins. My husband does it for me, Renee.
No, you
He's like,
gotta do for
baby,
yourself.
today you shaved your legs.
Right, right. I mean, that's no, but that's a big thing, right? And even the small win for somebody that is, going through depression, anxiety. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people know my journey, not having losing a relationship with my youngest daughter. That
Yeah.
is
Takes a
beyond
toll.
debilitating. Like that turned into me functioning. They call it functional freeze.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a lot of people in my circle don't even know that because
Yes.
I put on that
Strong.
strong, brave. Granted, they've seen me cry. There's been periods of time that
Mhm.
they've seen me cry, but I hold it
Yeah.
and I can function. And then there is such a detachment. There's a numbness.
Yes.
It took a long time for me to recognize, I knew I was upset, I knew I was sad, but it
Mhm.
took me a long time to figure out what was gonna pull me out of it. Doesn't mean that I don't think about that every single day, but
Yeah.
I'm really good at now rewiring my brain so that I can have those moments, but I
Yes.
push those moments aside. And that's the thing too, is allowing us to have those moments. So I'm not saying that, every day
Like,
we're
it's
gonna.
okay to, we said this before, like, it's okay to not be okay. We're just
Yeah,
talking about how to encourage yourself
yeah,
to have a better mindset, because the mindset controls everything that you do in your life,
yeah,
like we said, from work, from business, to physical, to
yep,
eating, to the way you feel, the way that everything. I mean, it literally drives the outcome of everything you do
yeah.
day to day.
It really does. So it learning these tips and implementing the tips and the strategies will help
Yeah.
everyone recognize that when they're going down the path, that they can then change the path and have a brighter day. So that's why I thought it would be really important for us to discuss this topic because it affects everybody. So it's not just business. And in
Yeah.
business, I mean, like you said, and you started us off, like the economy freaking sucks. I mean, I think we're on our way to something newer, bigger, and better. But
Mhm.
if anyone has a business, they all know that it ain't always rosy. And when you get, the door slammed on you, not physically, but when people don't want what you have, they're not
Mhm.
responding. Family and friends don't support what you're doing, right? It takes strangers to go, hey, you're amazing and I want what you have to
Yeah.
offer. And family
Yeah.
and friends are like crickets, then it
Mhm.
can it can
Mhm.
it can definitely
Takes a
play a
toll. It takes the toll. It takes a toll mentally. It really does. And then that's where that mindset comes in and says, "No, girl, you got this.
right.
Like,
Know
I
your
want
worth. You know
I
what you
yeah,
have to offer. And
yes.
people want what I have to offer. Do I have them all today? Maybe not, but they're
Mhm.
out there and continue
And
doing what you're
I'm
doing.
gonna I'm gonna voice memo. Thank you. I am so grateful that 20 new people came to my website today,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
And that's the
You know
power
what's the
of
cool
it.
thing that I did too is email yourself. So I don't know if you schedule emails, but you can even use like,
No, I think email. Yeah, but
oh,
okay, yeah, but tell us more, tell us more.
okay. So another thing people can do is there's a tool called mailtrack.io. And
I have heard of it.
that's like an addition toward in Gmail. So you can
Yeah.
schedule emails. Okay.
Mhm.
So what I did is, you might think I'm crazy, but this really does work. And it's quite surprising. So I'll tell you what I did and then I'll give you examples of what you can do for personal. But I sent myself an email and it was, congratulations, you just got another $500 order, or congratulations, you
I
just got
love
a
it.
new client. Congratulations, somebody just downloaded your social media mastery course. And I
That's so
pre-scheduled
cute.
the emails to go out to me. So when you open up, you're like, you got a new email, and I'm like, I got a new customer. Like, and then of course I go, oh, it's not real,
You're like,
but
it's me, but I did good. I did
right?
good.
But that feeling
Yeah,
and seeing it on repeat, it
yeah,
will happen. So in personal life, right? You might say, like, you might send yourself a powerful email about, I always think of that Stuart Smalley. Remember that SNL skit years ago? Do you
yeah,
know that?
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
I'm
sure.
good enough. I'm smart enough, and doggone it,
Yes,
people love me. But you
yes.
can send something, exciting and motivational to yourself. Like, you are a fucking badass. You are an amazing woman.
You
Look,
are
like, you are
gorgeous. You
gorgeous,
are beautiful.
Yeah.
You are smart.
Exactly. That's the other one. So, but scheduling those things, those could be it. That's another tip, another tool that women can implement to start,
I know.
seeing their
I know
positivity.
now they have the iPhones where you can schedule text messages. And so like I'm such a text message person. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna schedule myself text messages now
That's a
to
great
be
idea.
like, girl, this is you 6 months from now. Look at you. Look at how amazing you are. No more this, no more that.
Yes. Yes. Yep, schedule those text messages. It's a great thing, and you open it up and you're like, it's your reminder to yourself, because this is self-care. We have to
Yeah.
take good care of ourselves. And
Yeah.
we have to talk to ourselves with such kindness and love, because we
Mhm.
if we're going to give love, we have to start with ourselves.
Yeah,
So,
you and I always say that. We always say that. And that has been and that is another thing to the audience listening is that, these are things that I preach and speak and share and talk about all the time, but when you are going through it, you have to dig. You have to dig and you have to remind yourselves. And it is funny that you say share the small wins. I didn't think I was doing it, but I did just notice that I did post a post, Renee, like I don't know, maybe a week. God, it's only been 3 weeks, you guys. It's so weird.
yeah.
Maybe like 7 days ago, and it feels like 7 days has been 2 months. Okay.
Yeah.
But I did a TikTok and I said, I put my panties on today. Like that
Yeah.
was such a big
Yeah,
win for me because
it is.
I am so independent that I didn't want my husband to put my underwear on. I'm like,
Mhm.
gross. No, I don't want you to do that for me. But it was like the effort of it was just so hard in like the first like 3, 4 days. So I was like, I'm put underwear on today. So I did celebrate it, but I forgot that I was celebrating it because that consistency didn't stay there of me
Right.
celebrating something every day because those moments of like despair just kept getting in the freaking way. And so I
Yep.
have to keep going back to all of these things. And like that conversation that we had with that young lady 2 days ago, had it not been for that conversation, it snapped me out of it.
Yeah.
and then not realizing that I was gonna need it to save my life that
Mhm.
night.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, you can do this. You can do this. And it's just keeping your eye on something so positive. I had to tell my dad this when he was fighting cancer, even though he knew he was dying, you guys. Like he knew, okay. We all knew. Like there was it just was when was it gonna happen?
Yeah.
So he had no idea. And just saying, Dad, let's look forward to something. What can we look forward to in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? And one thing that he kept looking forward to was my baby sister was getting married. And he's like, and he kept saying, the weaker he got, he kept saying, I have a young lady to walk down the aisle. And you guys, he did it, and
Yeah.
he died shortly after. And he woke up one day and looked around. He goes, did I make the wedding? He didn't even know. Like he was there, but it just was so weak, but he was there.
Mm.
And we're like, Dad, you did it. He's like, I did. And I remember his face, like, I did. Like I did that.
That was his
And
purpose. That was his purpose. He
yes,
set his
yes,
mindset. He set his
yes,
intention that this is what he was going to do. He
yes,
rewired his brain to say, I am holding on until
yes,
that pivotal moment. That's beautiful.
yeah. It's powerful.
It is
And so
powerful.
anybody going through anything can do it. And this is the reminder that I have to give myself, Renee, because Renee, I have texted you like, I hate my life. I suck. I'm the worst. And then I have to rewire that and be like, girl, you put your underwear on today. Girl,
Exactly.
you shaved your legs.
Exactly. So vision your way you're going to look and feel in 6 months, talk about it, put that out into the universe, record yourself doing it and journaling it and doing everything that you need to do, and goes to everybody out there, whatever it is, whatever tips to help you navigate and have a
Yes.
strong mindset so that you can freaking crush life.
Mhm. And for all the business owners out there, put a little comment that I'm a business owner or whatever, and let's share what you do, because honestly, like right
Yeah.
now, we need each other. And I would rather spend 50 more cents supporting somebody, a small business, a
Yep.
family, putting food on the table, than a big, huge corporation. Yes, I know that provides jobs, and I always will support corporations because it's what I do. But I want to support business owners. And so, for mindset, you might be feeling doubtful, or maybe you feel like I might have to do redirect right now, or maybe this business isn't going to work for me. But and then you stumbled upon us and you're listening. Hey, we are here to also support anybody who is doing anything and everything to better their life.
Absolutely.
And so if we could do that for you, or if you know somebody, a good friend, and you're like, I think I mean my business closed. That was
Mhm.
like the worst thing for me.
Yep.
Had I had maybe a little bit more support to keep it open, I don't know. I don't know. But these things happen every single day, and we don't want anybody to ever feel doubtful, stressful, or worried when it comes to providing for their families because they own their own business. We don't
Yeah,
want
that's
that.
a very good point. Yes, post your business below. And if anybody starts and creates their life script, please let us know. We would love to hear how it went for you, whether you're
No.
implementing it, how you're doing with it. And again,
Yeah.
come contact us on social media. Follow us if you'd like. We really
Oh,
appreciate
and
that.
Renee, we should put your badass queen, so that it's link also below this, so
It's
that
all
if
in
somebody
there.
wants, if somebody needs a reminder and you need to wear that, or you need that coffee mug or that sweater to remind yourself that you
Yeah.
are, she'll post her link there. And then I'll post my boutique, because I'm always about, like, I want to make women feel beautiful and have them
Yeah.
feel good, and anything like that. And if you want to shop with my link and you find it here below, send me a message and I'll give you a 20% off code too.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Because
awesome.
like, life
Yeah.
is just too short, and we got to help others. And, we want everybody to feel good no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yep. And the links are in the show notes. So everyone will be able to take a look at that. And then we'll see you on the next one. Thank you all so much for your time. Hopefully you got some good insight and tips and tools on this. And just can't wait to help celebrate all of your successes, both personally and professionally. So till next time, stay badass. And we will see you the next one.
Absolutely. Bye, everyone. Have a good mindset day.
All right, queens, that's a wrap for today's episode. But before you hit pause, let's talk about you and how we can help you slay every part of your life. If you're ready to feel fabulous and look like $1,000,000, I've got you covered with my badass queen coaching, sparkling touchstone crystal jewelry, and Bella Grace collagen, because glowing skin and a sparkly vibe, that's a power move. Check it all out at reneecarbonefleming.com. And my co-host Sierra, oh yeah, she's bringing the heat too. Not only is she rocking Bella Grace collagen for her glow game, but she's also the queen of chic with her fabulous clothing boutique. From boosting your wellness to leveling up your wardrobe, Sierra's got the magic to help you shine inside and out. Check her out at Linktree/Sierra Whitener 7. So here's the deal. Head to our websites, grab the goods that'll help you live your best life, and let's make everything about you unapologetically badass. And hey, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with your fellow queens, because the more sparkle in the world, the better. Until next time, keep glowing, keep slaying, and remember, you're a badass queen who deserves it all.